Hello, and welcome to this Springer Nature Spotlight On broadcast, created for the Frankfurt Book Fair Virtual Hub. My name is Tim Gillett. I'm the former editor of Research Information magazine and now a freelance journalist working in the scholarly communications field. Today we're going to be looking at a key trend within the industry. That is the changing role of academic publishing companies such as Springer Nature to move away from being pure publishers and become more broadly based solutions providers that are embracing the needs of scientific authors as a key part of their offering. In the last 20 years or so, there have been three key transformations in the world of academic publishing. Since the early to mid 90s, we've seen the first of these transformations, the inexorable move from print to digital, which is now virtually complete in the world of journals, with continued and accelerating progress when it comes to academic books. The second key trend has been the movement towards open access publishing, which also began about 20 years ago and continues to be driven forward by publishers including Springer Nature, in line with initiatives such as Plan S in Europe and in the United States, Joe Biden's recent instruction that from 2026, all US agencies should have immediate access to federally funded research as soon as it's published. The third transformation, on which we'll be concentrating today, is the move by many academic publishers to become more author-centric solutions providers, delivering tools to better support the researcher journey and the research ecosystem, a trend that will no doubt have been noticed by anyone attending library, research, and publishing conferences over the last few years. To help me explore this today, I'm joined by Harsh Jegadeesan, who's recently joined Springer Nature as Chief Solutions Officer. Harsh is going to take us through some of these initiatives that he's working on and explain how these platforms are going to benefit researchers, the wider scholarly communications industry, and indeed the wider scientific endeavour. Harsh, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to start by asking what you make of this transformation and what opportunities you see for Springer Nature and other industry players to play their part in this transition.
Tim, thank you very much for having me. I'm really excited to chat with you about this transformation. If you look at history, it's been fascinating. Tim Berners-Lee first invented the World Wide Web, on which we are all living our lives today and having this conversation on to help researchers share research papers in CERN, right? So the whole World Wide Web and the technologies that it enables was first developed in the service of helping researchers connect with each other and collaborate. And we're coming full circle on that to really realize the full potential of that innovation. And we know that science, research, innovation, it creates step change in every industry. It fuels human progress, the whole society progress. And I strongly believe that by coordinating all different actors in this research ecosystem, we'll be able to solve the greatest challenges and the problems that we face today in our planet, be it climate change, life-threatening diseases, we're just emerging out of the pandemic right now, energy security, which is causing a lot of pressure in the economy these days, and also economic and political turmoil, to just name a few. By coordinating all of this across different actors and across funders, institutions, we'd be able to achieve real laser focus to solving these big problems that we face today. So I believe Springer Nature and others in this domain are transitioning to becoming platforms for open science and innovation and support this whole problem solving. And let me actually share a couple of examples just to make it a bit more tangible. If you think about the Sustainability Development Goals, the SDGs, the UN SDGs, which is a way to orchestrate all efforts globally to solve the biggest challenges that we face as a planet and evolve sustainably. We have a partnership with VSNU in Netherlands and all the different universities to help them really make sense out of all the research that they're doing, their scholarly output in the past 10 years, to see how it contributes to furthering the sustainability development goals. So we've applied technology like artificial intelligence to be able to look at all this kind of outputs that have come in the past 10 years and really make sense out of how this really impacts the sustainability development goals. Another example is a recent one. We're partnering with Takeda, a life sciences company, and especially thinking about how we could bring health equity, right? Um, so these are some of the things, very tangible things, how science, discoveries, new discoveries, and invention and innovation can really solve big problems, can help us sustainably develop further ahead, and achieve things like health equity. And this is why I'm so fascinated. I'm actually a technologist, been in the technology industry for several years, and I'm very fascinated to be part of Springer Nature, and help apply technology, help apply platform thinking, design thinking, technologies like AI and Web3 and the metaverse that's in front of us to help the whole research ecosystem really collaborate in problem solving. That's why I'm really, really, really excited.
That's great. Well, I'm sure Springer Nature are delighted to have you on board, Harsh. What are you doing specifically, and which platforms are you working on at present to help drive this transition?
Absolutely. So my role as the Chief Solutions Officer and part of the executive board at Springer Nature, I have this privilege of leading a global, diverse, and truly brilliant platform and solutions group. And as platform and solutions group, we do two things. We build a platform by bringing all the different things that we have together, and also solutions to help researchers, funders, and research institutions and corporates. So let me actually share a bit more, add a little bit more color to what we're trying to do. So Springer Nature has very popular platforms like nature.com, SpringerLink, Biomed Central, and we're supporting close to 2.3 billion interactions of researchers coming in every single year. And we are evolving our platforms to be harmonized, personalized for researchers, to help them collaborate in the open access and open science world, and drive innovation. We also offer Research Squire, which is our emerging research multidisciplinary preprint platform, quickly becoming the world's premier preprint destination for researchers, to help researchers share their research early and really get feedback and collaborate and iterate, and also have a clear path or navigation for researchers to plug into the broader problem solving, right? So I also have seen in the technology world with open source software becoming hugely popular, helping people from different parts of the globe collaborate, and really innovate. I see that we have the same potential with open science and open access, and this is what the platform of Springer Nature is evolving to be this platform for open science and innovation, really. So I'm very, very excited about the possibility, because this is going to be really game changing for the entire industry and the way researchers are communicating with each other and driving towards solving the biggest challenges that we face today in the world. On the solution side, we focused on providing researchers solutions such as author solutions, AI-powered author solutions, which help them really collaborate and communicate their research better. We're helping researchers with solutions such as Nature Masterclasses, which help them really learn and stay on top on how they could communicate research, how they could do better research, how they could learn about research integrity, and so on and so forth. Then we're also thinking about, or we're also providing solutions, data and analytics solutions, to help funders and institutions make better decisions. We recently launched Nature Research Intelligence. Again, I'm very proud of what we've achieved. We are combining the power of AI to be able to summarize complex research topics, to give a pathway on what's happened so far, how is this research topic evolving? If you're taking nuclear fusion, for example, what's the top research happening in that area? Who are the top researchers? And how does my work really tie into everything that's happening around? Just constantly helping connect the dots across the research ecosystem to have better impact and outcomes. And we also helping research institutions and funders make better decisions as they evolve their research strategy, as they evolve their funding strategy, and so on and so forth. We also support corporates, for example, with our ADIS Insight solutions, with our material solutions, with our experiment solutions, helping corporates really connect back to primary research, what's going on in the research field, and really try to commercialize and monetize, as well as bring solutions to market that solve real problems, fostering a deep collaboration between research institutes, academia, as well as corporates. So that's the broad lay of the land in terms of platforms and solutions. And we have quite some exciting things coming out of this group going forward.
It's clear that there's an awful lot going on in terms of product development and new business models, I guess, as well. How do you think these platforms and solutions are going to specifically benefit the wider landscape? So that's individual researchers, research institutions, wider academia, governments, funders, and I guess also the public.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we're very conscious about, our North Star of where we want to go and what we are doing every day is guided by what our individual users and consumers want. And I actually see three broad categories. So we think about researchers. We think about researchers who want to learn, discover, stay on top of research trends that are going in their area, whether they're early career researchers, whether they're senior researchers, even principal investigators, really providing the power of AI and Nature Navigator and Nature Research Intelligence to help them stay on top of what's going on in their research fields, to help them summarize, to help them identify how their research fields are evolving, to look at research across multidisciplinary areas to reinforce one another and be really additive, to help them collaborate and network on the research, to help them publish in high impact journals, to further their careers, to build reputation, grow in their careers, to build their own scientific CV, help them be part of the whole progress of science by participating as reviewers, as editors, to further science and keep science moving. That's what our solutions are focused on specifically, to help researchers at that level. We also have solutions, like I said, for funding agencies to help them define the research agenda, to help fund research, to generate defined outcomes, to identify how it ties back to all the funding that they're doing. How does it tie back to sustainability development goals? How does it drive problem solving in specific areas? How can they really track these research outcomes and really demonstrate that impact? So they're very coordinated on, because funding is the key, and it's the first step towards identifying the right problems and solving that. So helping them, really providing them a guide to do that, and also helping research institutions, whether they're in academia or corporate, to really define their research strategy, to get funded, to track the impact of their work. And what we're trying to do across researchers who are participating in the ecosystem, across research institutes, across funding agencies, is how can we actually converge them and bring them to a single point, to a laser focus, to give them tools and solutions to create a laser focus on problem solving. And that's the direction that we're moving forward. And all our solutions, if you think about researcher solutions that we're offering, if you're thinking about data and analytics solutions, the Nature Research Intelligence solutions, they're all tailored to solving these core needs of this research ecosystem.
Great, thank you. So how do you think these new products and platforms are going to change the relationship between traditional publishers and the wider scholarly communications industry?
So I believe that publishers are evolving with open access and with open science. We actually becoming cheerleaders of the research community. We are trying to bring research community together. We are trying to help researchers do the best work. We are trying to become facilitators. We're trying to become an open platform for science and innovation. And if you look at the key responsibility of a publisher evolving into becoming this open platform, is bringing all the different constituents in this whole ecosystem together, providing them a platform to come together, to collaborate, to ensure that the work that they're doing in some part of the world is tied to the broader goals of problem solving. That's why we're trying to see how we could link the work that they're doing back into impact in terms of impacting sustainability development goals, back into problem solving. So that's what publishers can do. And if you think about Springer Nature, with the legacy that we have, with the relationship that we have, Nature has been the platform for science for so many years. If you're thinking about the human genome, if you think about COVID sequencing, so everything, Nature has been the platform where science was shared, and the right debates were had to progress science with trust and with integrity. And expanding that and applying technology with that kind of the history and legacy that we have, we are in the right position to really support all the different stakeholders in the research ecosystem. And that's really, really exciting on what we could be, the potential that we as an industry have to become platforms for science and help researchers collaborate towards problem solving. It's immense potential that we have, and that's what keeps me up every day, and that's what keeps the team up every day.
Yeah, indeed, it's going to be fascinating to see how it pans out over the next few years. I've alluded to the facts, I guess, that Springer Nature apart, there are plenty of other organisations that are offering tools that benefit the research community. In a nutshell, Harsh, why should researchers choose Springer Nature?
That's a great question, and there are a lot of solutions. The best part of the whole industry is moving towards openness and open access, and openness fosters collaboration. Openness fosters innovation. It's very well known, and the industry from I come from in technology, open source did that for the whole community, and the speed of innovation, the speed of problem solving really evolved, and I'm sure this is going to go in the same direction. Why I believe Springer Nature is in a unique position is because of the following. Um, Nature has been, like I said, the platform for science, platform for scientists, platform for researchers to share cutting edge research. Uh, Springer and Nature and Scientific American, these are brands that have been there since the 1840s and 1860s. So they have deep legacy. They also have deep relationship to the different stakeholders, because at the end of the day, it's not about more research output. It's about how all of these pieces come together to solve problems. So Springer Nature is in that unique position to bind all these different actors in the research ecosystem, if you may, to drive towards problem solving. And especially with the combination of technology, with the combination of platform thinking, design thinking, putting the users at the center, this is going to be the way forward, and this is why Springer Nature will play a huge role in this whole transformation in the industry. Specifically for a researcher, Springer Nature will help researchers build, focus their research, find meaning in the work that they're doing and how it contributes into broader problem solving, provide them the right set of tools to communicate their research, to collaborate on their research, provide them the platform where they could come together, be part of research communities, their tribes to foster research. So these are some of the advantages that Springer Nature offers. And of course, Springer Nature, with the platform it provides and the engagement that it has, is the right place for you to share your research, because there are billions of interactions, people taking a look at your research, and also putting it out in the open allows a lot more collaboration possibilities and driving research to reality possibilities that a lot of researchers want. And also to share a sort of a personal example, I used to be in academia and in research at some point of time. And one of the reasons that I moved into corporate to start building products, because I was at some point frustrated with how research translated to reality. So that was very, very, very important for me as a researcher. How does the work that you do translate? And it's a hard job to be a researcher, and especially in early career stages. So how does your work translate into reality to solve problems? And Springer Nature could be that platform for you to, find, get your research go into reality and problem solving.
That's great.
So that's
You could also be a very good marketeer, Harsh. Thank you. Sadly, we've run out of time for today, so we do need to bring this conversation to a close. Harsh, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and chatting to you today. It's been fascinating to hear what you've been working on, and it's clear that there are very interesting times ahead for those at Springer Nature and indeed for the whole world of scholarly communications. So thank you very much for your time, and goodbye. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed our conversation.
Good. Thank you.